Hey guys, it's Ian here, and today I wanted to discuss with you a topic which I couch regularly with new clients that I'm working with, and that's the topic of the fear of change. And it's a really common theme that I hear with my clients and even people that I'm just discussing sort of change with. When we talk about subconscious stories that we have in our mind, this is a big one. And the story we tell ourselves and we've convinced ourselves of is that massive success requires massive action. And this couldn't be further from the truth. And in fact, this kind of thinking is what really also creates a lot of procrastination in people and even anxiety. And the lasting effect is that we sit still in life and we don't do the things that we want to do. Now, when I'm talking to clients about change and what's required, a common thing you'll always hear me talk about is consistency. And there's a reason for that. First of all, consistency alleviates a lot of pressure. If we can just create a good habit and routine, that in itself is what consistency is built off. If we can learn to do something almost habitually, the right thing, consistency is a lot easier to create. The other part, the second part, the most important part of consistency and routine habits is making sure that we're breaking down the change required to its smallest form. And this is why we say that massive success only takes small changes, consistent small changes. And there's so many stories throughout history where this is sort of keyed upon. A couple that come to mind is, I think it was in 1987, and I'm going to paraphrase here, but in 1987, there was American Airlines. They stated that over a year or so, they took out one olive in a salad, and they saved tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, for an airline to save that sort of money, it mightn't be a big deal, but the context is there. Small change, big result. It's the same when we talk about sporting teams, when they look at the one percenters, car racing, always trying to shave a millisecond here, a millisecond there. In weightlifting, you will find weightlifters, when they're going for bigger lifts, they're using what we call incremental plates. They're 100 gram here, 100 gram there. You shouldn't even feel this weight on the bar. Yet that 100 gram over weeks and months and years, now we're starting to talk kilos. 10 kilos, 20 kilos, 30 kilos. And that's the effect, the compounding effect, the power of just small, incremental, consistent changes. So when we can apply this to our thinking, it starts to empower us and allows us to move forward with the change that we require. And one thing I talk to my clients about when we talk about consistency is we all exhibit consistency in our life. And normally when we've got bad habits, the bad habits actually create such destruction in our lives because we are consistent with those bad habits. So you can have a bad meal today and it won't show up on the scales tomorrow. You can have that bad meal every day over the next month. We're going to start seeing that needle move. You do that consistently over months, years, now we're in trouble. And this is why most of my clients come to me confused, perplexed, saying, I have no idea how I put on so much weight. And this is the reason why, because when we're consistent with a habit, good or bad, it's that really sort of sneaky snake in the grass. You're not really aware of it, but the compounding effect, the power of consistency is such that small changes, they will yield big results. So when we're talking about change with my clients, we have to explain, first of all, empower them that consistency is something that we do in our life, and we have habits. They're just the bad ones. All we have to do now is work out why we have this belief and these bad habits, change them around, and then explain that it's not about being a world beater every day. It's about doing the small things right, consistently. I'm always a big sort of fan of explaining to people that even if you only did half of what you knew you needed to do 100% of the time, you're going to get results. So the fear of change we can dispel that straight away. It's small steps. And this is the work I do with my clients. Once we've done the hypnosis session and we've removed the blocks and reprogrammed the thinking, the right thinking, the most important part then in the 4-week program is then to adapt to small, repeatable actions, daily actions that will become routine and habit. And those small changes over a long enough timeline are going to get the clients the results they want. It doesn't matter what it is, if it's weight loss, if it's wanting to be better at public speaking, self-confidence, ridding yourself of anxiety. It's the small things that we do daily, whether it's a reminder or an action or a thought process. It's a small change in what we've been doing, heading in the right direction, that will get us to our end goal. It's the same thing that I always say, when we're doing the right actions daily, we don't have to worry about reaching our goal. Our goal will just come to us. The right work will always yield the result you're after. So the other thing that we need to understand is, if we don't make the change, if we let this fear continue to run our life, things are only going to get harder. And this is the pain talk that I discuss with my clients that are sitting on the fence. And I ask them, like, if we don't take action today, what is tomorrow going to look like? What is 6 months down the track going to look like? What is 2 years or 5 years? It doesn't look pretty. And I guess that's the logical approach that we need to take when we look at change. We can use all the cliches you like, nothing changes until you change. If you continue to do what you've always done, you'll always get what you always got. That's all great, but we have to have a look at the destruction. We have to look at the position we're putting ourselves in, the negative position we're putting ourselves in life because we're not making a change. We cannot let fear of change stop us from moving forward. And as I've just said, the fear of change really is just a subconscious story, and it's not real. It's certainly not true. So I want you to think about this today. What's stopping you from making a change? Now, there is work to be done, and this is why clients contact me. It's not as easy as just saying, I want to do this. But one thing I want you to try and think about today is, what is one thing, one action, even if it's just a thought, that you could do differently today than yesterday? That you could do differently today that will change what tomorrow brings. It doesn't have to be big. It can be maybe drinking a little more water instead of having that soda. It could be drinking one less cup of coffee and having a tea. It could be, waking up 15 minutes early and just going for a small walk around the block, or whatever it is. What it means to you is all that matters. But just empower yourself by realizing you can make a change. The smallest changes can absolutely, over a long enough timeline, yield a massive result. And that's the work I do with my clients. That's the work I do with myself every day. Even myself, if I look at a goal that I want, I need to break it down into the smallest tangible actions. It's the only way to get things done. It's the only way to get things done that you will have a lasting result. Otherwise, again, we get this white knuckling, we get this willpower happening, and you will burn out. That sort of willpower is used for short-term gains. Long-lasting results, have to come from the right beliefs and the right stories that we program in your mind, and then it has to be backed up with repeatable actions. And that's how we create that success loop that I've spoken about before. Routine and habits create consistency. Consistency will always create results, and the results create belief. And then that belief creates that success loop. It finishes it off. We want to continue to do that. So guys, I hope you found this of some value. Please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and get more of these videos moving forward. Any comments or questions, please leave them below. If you have an issue you want to discuss, please get in touch with me. And guys, as always, whatever you've got going on, I'm wishing you the most fantastic day. And please remember, when you change your mind, you change your life. Take care.